morning, everyone. Let me first welcome you all to this conference today. ADB is privileged in hosting this event, which concludes 2 years of our technical assistance activities aimed at building a green affordable housing ecosystem in India. At the outset, this has been made possible through our partnership with the IIFL Home Finance Limited and the crucial support of the Urban Climate Change Resilience Trust Fund, backed by the UK and Swiss governments and the Rockefeller Foundation. So let me convey our appreciation for their strong commitment to this initiative. I also acknowledge the presence of Mr. Monu Ratra, Executive Director and CEO of IIFL Home Finance Limited. Housing is essential in modern society, providing shelter, privacy, basic dignity, and other well-being needs. India's urban centers face a shortage of 26 million units, and 90% of which is for affordable housing. So the government of India has stepped up with the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana since 2015, directly tackling this pressing issue. However, it is critical to address the housing shortage without further harming the environment. Buildings contribute on average 39% of carbon emissions, and reducing these emissions is essential for India to realize its net zero transition by 2070. Despite the urgency, public awareness for sustainable construction practices and green residential mortgages remains low. To fill this gap, ADB, through this technical assistance, has been engaging in policy dialogues with key stakeholders over the past 2 years. Beyond the dialogue, ADB has significantly expanded its lending to the affordable housing sector and urban infrastructure sectors, with investments totaling $4.1 billion in the last 2 years across sovereign and non-sovereign operations. For one, ADB approved 2 policy-based loans totaling $750 million to support the government's
So this technical assistance for us was a first of its kind experience, and it's been a great journey for us. We were on our own. We started this about 5 years back in a very, I would say, in an unstructured manner, and it was a kind of a start which we didn't know how we were going to progress on this, but I think logically we kept on progressing ourselves on this journey. And I think what this ADB assistance has done to us is formalize that journey into a more into a manner which can be replicated further. I think we are living in times where we have to, all of us, go beyond our scope of work or the scope of responsibility all of us are assigned for. I think it's happening in general in humanity, and for this cause it is much more. If you think you are a financial institution and you wait for others to make a difference, to set the ecosystem for you and then you will start financing, not possible. If you are a DFI and you think that, okay, let us get some ideal suitors for us to fund this, only then we'll start funding, it's not going to work. Even if it's an educational institution, if they feel we teach everything in the college but no practicality of it, it's not going to work. So I think we are living in times where all of us have to go beyond our scope of responsibility given to us. Only then this change is going to be brought about. That the headwinds are favorable or not favorable, but we'll continue our wading ahead, and we won't let this die here. And the next phase of Kutum, what we are envisioning and imagining, is going to be different. It should be out there in the field and not inside 5-star hotels and air conditions things. So that's going to be our next vision of Kutum 2.0, which is going to be right on the field. It's going to be about dissemination through use of technology. It's going to be about creating a repository of best practices which can be disseminated at the ground and the base level. And we like to reach out to people where actually the capacity building matters. and hope to seek your guidance and blessings for the Kutum 2.0. We'll keep everybody posted what we are doing.
Of the program have been impressive, and I just want to name a few. First of all, around 30 training courses were developed and delivered to a wide audience. These ranged from the use of recycled construction materials to do-it-yourself toolkits for climate-responsive self-built housing, as well as many more. Second, the Disha community learning events benefited hundreds of women and children across India. Those events did not only teach them how to adopt sustainable living behavior, but more crucially, it enabled them to become change agents within their communities. Third, countless recommendations on how to improve and innovate green building rating programs and gender-sensitive urban design were identified. Going forward, these can enable a better environment to incentivize climate-responsive, sustainable housing projects. And last but certainly not least, this program has brought together a wide range of stakeholders from a myriad of domains, as you can see in the room just now. Designers, architects, engineers, contractors, NGOs, city development authorities, financial institutions, state and central governments. Connecting these different stakeholders has proven paramount to ignite a systemic transformation of the housing sector in India. Only together we can shift the gears towards an efficient, ecologically and economically friendly housing and urban development system. The program has also raised awareness about the critical importance of inclusion in the housing sector. Women are not only a backbone of families, but also significantly contribute to the economy, education, and crucially also to community development. When we talk about inclusive housing, we must acknowledge the role that women play in this narrative. However, to date, women in India are rarely involved in the designing, planning, or operating of the housing project.